Little Gay Talk Show, Houston's hot mess of a podcast. A funny but thoughtful look at the LGBTQIA plus community.
And it's another episode of that Little Gay Talk Show.
Hey, y'all.
I'm your host, Joel Tatum.
I'm your host, Julio Briseño.
And Halloween's coming up, and I got a lot to say.
This weekend, girl.
Yes, I have a lot to say.
Yeah, we're recording today, on the 27th?
Mm-hmm. So, basically daylight savings time ends, I think this week. I think it ends this weekend.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So, y'all get an extra hour to party all night long.
From a bartending perspective, that's fucking annoying. From a partier perspective, woo! Get it, girl.
That's Halloween's on a Sunday, right?
That's correct. The 31st, yeah.
Are you gonna be working?
I'll be off. But I know that if they need me, I have to help. But for the most part, I'm counting on being off that day. Like, I go out almost every Sunday, so like I enjoy having that time off. As much money as I could make, I also like balancing my personal life too, where like I need to go out there and have fun and be with the community.
I know. I feel I work, but I'm trying to save my coins at the same time. What do you want to be for Halloween?
I have several ideas, to be honest with you, but they're kind of going based. I'm one of those last minute shoppers, so my ideas in the beginning are available, and then by the time I get to those ideas at the end of the week, at the end of the month, half the costumes I want are gone. So I'm gonna try to find something funny, something cute to wear. It has to be bartending friendly because if I've learned over the years. Not too much makeup, very light on makeup, any kind of makeup, whatever face, like for example, if you're doing the Joker or if you're doing a drag face, or you will sweat your ass off if you're working. So your face sweats off with you. Wigs, make sure they're breathable, and if they're not, don't even bother. Just don't. Because you're going to be sweating, itchy, you're going to be that girl scratching her head like, ew.
Lace front is probably the best.
Right.
Don't get a cheap wig.
You speak from experience.
Don't get a cheap wig. Get yourself a lace front.
So is your toupee lace front or not?
I don't have a toupee, girl. This is all.
Oh, we weren't telling the public.
We weren't telling the public.
I see
we
how
were not telling the public, but it's a toupee on a budget because I still got that big ball spot going on in the back.
Not toupee on a budget.
It's like dollar store, Dollar General.
She flips with the wind. That's how cheap she is.
Have you ever seen? Oh my God! Have you ever seen the commercials? Not the commercials, but the infomercials. They have one where they had this can of spray you spray on your bald spot, and it makes it look like you have hair.
So barbers tend to use that a lot.
I'm like, what? Is that a real thing?
Yes.
And I have seen
hair in a can.
It's hair in a can. And I have seen barbers use it a couple of times, and I'm like, am I ready to use this yet?
Am I at that age?
I mean, it's not the age. I mean, you could go bald at any age.
I know friends who are much older who use that men's coloring stuff. And
well, I know some of the kids are already balder than I am.
Damn.
I didn't start losing my hair.
And by the way, I'm not hating on you if you're bald, graying, because some of my beard in some parts, they're starting to gray. I'm 35, so it's starting, some of the hairs are popping out, and I'm like, God, I may or may not have to be that girl who has to like dye her hair, but at the same time, I'm one of those bitches who like embraces it. And like, you know what? It is what it is.
I've always been
what she is.
An early developer. I had hair on my chest by the time I was 14.
Oh,
the gray hairs came in when I turned 35.
Did you really?
So everything is always the gray hair chest. That's what surprised me.
Girl,
that happened when I turned 42, and I'm like, what? I have gray hair on my chest? Oh my God. So yeah, it was
officially a daddy.
I did not take it well at first. Because I'm like, I'm losing my hair. Nope. I got gray on my, and I got more hair in places that I didn't want hair in.
TMI, but
and then the skin. Oh, TMI! It's gonna get really raunchy here in a minute. Ooh. But then we had some issues with eczema and all this other stuff that we still dealing with. So, getting old sucks, girl. Getting old.
It does.
It's getting older sucks. For me.
For you.
Yes, for me.
Because I, on the other hand, am aging gracefully.
But I have to say this, though.
Because you know why?
Thanks to
that girl.
She is that girl. But thanks to some medical intervention, We got everything under control.
She better Viagra. She better Cialis.
The blood pressure is where it's supposed to be. The weight is where it's supposed to be.
Is she finally back to, you know?
She's not back to where she used to be 125 pounds.
Bitch. Oh,
yeah.
Speaking of,
she was tall and skinny for the longest time. As
part of my week, this week is where I ended up going on Amazon and buying me so I bought a digital scale. I had to. I'm at that point because I'm one of those people that I have these self checks in place where, like, if my t-shirt size if my largest start fitting snug, I already know that mama step it up, eat healthier, stop eating the bullshit. And my jean size is naturally 34, so like if my 34 start feeling tight, those are my self checks. Like, Carol, your clothes is fitting tight. So I'm catching myself like filling my clothes in a little bit better more than I'm used to, and so I'm like, ugh. But so now I had to buy a scale because I've never believed in a scale at home. But then I'm also coming to realization you kind of need a scale, even if you check in like once a month on your scale. See where you're at. See where your weight's at. If you're up or you're down, that way you can keep yourself in check.
Well, you know,
I don't want to become obsessed either. But I feel like it's like I told my friend the other day. Like, I feel like that's natural. It's healthy for you to like keep certain checkpoints within yourself to say, okay, hey, if this shirt or this dress doesn't fit anymore, if this pair of pants or this something doesn't fit like the way it used to, then we need to work on ourselves.
Exactly. And let me tell you something. Like I said, going to the doctor has really changed my perspective on how I keep myself fit.
Yes.
And, I bought a scale.
Yes.
You know, I have a blood pressure monitor to keep, and my blood pressure has been incredibly good, y'all. Nice. I mean, it's been incredibly good. The doctors are actually smiling every time I go to the doctor. Still got one more thing to check, but we having an issue with that doctor because I can't seem to get an appointment.
Okay.
But for the most part, everything's working the way it's supposed to be working.
Good. As it should.
I mean, everything's working the way it's supposed to be working.
When I do the healthy stuff, I already eat healthy as it is. Even I don't hate. I occasionally will eat fast food, bad foods here and there, but I don't do it all the time. So when I go through those self checks, I'm like, oh, I have to eat healthy again. I don't go like, oh fuck, I have to start eating salad. No, I already eat healthy. I just had to eat healthier than what I'm used to eating. I usually eat light cooking. I don't like greasy foods. I like more healthy. The least amount of oil, the better. Less sodium, things of that nature. I watch my sugar intake because diabetes runs wild in my family.
Oh, really?
Both sides. So I don't know if it skipped me or did not, and I don't want to find out the hard way. But yes, Queen. I'm going to get to that point where, like, girl, we got to maintain. You
got to maintain. And I tell you, starting at 35.
And being realistic about maintaining. Yeah. Don't set these, like, a fucking off the beaten path goals where you're like, I'm at, for example, 200 now, and I'm going to be 170 in a month. Where, bitch?
Well,
with a lot of cocaine and whiskey. You sure? Yes, you're gonna be that girl.
I would think that crystal meth would help with more than the cocaine, but you know,
we do not endorse or
we are not endorsing any of this
of,
shit. So do not come on YouTube.
If you do that already, that's on you, mamas, not on us.
Yes. I'm judging here. Don't do the shit.
Okay.
There's too much crystal meth going on in this community as is. We don't need it anymore.
I want to bring that energy into this
I do not want to bring that energy, so let's not do that.
Let's not bring that conversation.
But, like I said, I think it's good for you that you started at 35 because I waited way too late.
Well, like,
I'm not going to say way too late,
I
but
didn't start
waited.
at 35, Joe. I actually, honestly, no bullshit. Since my mid-20s, I've always started becoming more, that's when I became more conscious of like, hey, we need to maintain now because what you do now affects you in the future. I've always known that. So I've always taken care of my body throughout. And then I'm one of those people that I fluctuate my weight. Sometimes I'm up, down, up, down, up, down. Like, it just happens. I have my large and mediums ready in my closets just because I already know I'm going to be the up or down. But I feel like that's normal. It's not me only. It's us as people. Even when we get older, we start getting a certain body weight that comes with certain ages because maybe we're not as physical or as active as we used to be. And that's another thing that helps me out too. Not only do I eat healthy already as it is, I also like doing physical activities. I like being outside. I like riding my bicycle. I like walking my dog. I like doing all that stuff. Like anything that, now that good weather's coming here in Houston, the fall is coming, bitch. Oh,
that good weather. I'm looking forward to it.
I love being outside in that weather.
Me too.
Bitch, like you will rarely catch me in the apartment.
I will walk everywhere.
The thing is too, the Houston summers, y'all, if you're not from Houston, they're fucking disrespectful. Not only do we have heat, mamas.
They're hateful, girl. They are not. They are hateful.
Hateful and disrespectful all in one.
Ugh.
Not only do we have heat, but we also have a large amount of humidity that goes with it, up to 50% and more humidity levels. So, girl, like when you go outside, you barely step out the door, you're sweating already. You're already feeling like, fuck.
Girl, as soon as I step outside during the summer, I'm like, nope, we going back in. I need air conditioning.
When my friends tell me, let's go do some shit in the daytime, summertime, no, girl. I'll wait till the sun goes down, and then we can talk. And even then, it's still hot and humid.
Yeah, exactly.
So, no, when this fall weather comes, I'm all about it. Joel,
what are the costume ideas that you were thinking about?
I saw a Wonder Woman one that because I want to wear funny ones at the bar. Shit that people be like, bitch, why are you wearing that?
Why would anybody at a gay bar say that?
Girl, you'd be surprised. Why would anybody at a gay bar judge another person? I don't get it.
I don't get it either. That doesn't
that would
happen
never
ever.
happen. Never.
We are not a toxic community at all.
Bitch, we had a whole talk about that before. We're like, we can't talk about that on air. But,
Yeah.
Because I'm telling, like, what I will say this. Like I was telling you earlier, I was like, before you started doing the podcast, you were a patron and you were a regular at the bars. And so you never paid attention to the behind-the-scenes drama and tea. And then now that we're doing podcasts and we're more in touch with the community and you're starting to meet more industry people, you're starting to see the real neighborhood, the real neighborhood politics, the neighborhood bullshit that comes with it. And you were just a second, you're like, oh, my God, this opinion. And I was like, girl, that's what comes with the territory.
Well, you know, I had been out of the neighborhood for quite some time, so going back in with fresh eyes again, and you know,
and it's
I'm
a whole
like,
new group of individuals.
You know, I'm like, oh my God, everybody's going to be holding hands and the love that's going to go around because this is a new generation and blah 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 blah.
You so funny.
And I got into the community and I went, oh,
I remember why I
don't
got out.
know if it's worse.
Now I remember why I got out.
I don't know if it's worse. I don't know if it ever changed. I don't know what's going on. I always say this, though.
The best way is find balance. Find your balance in what works for you. Surround yourself with like-minded people. And you will meet occasional not like-minded people. You just have to know either how to keep a distance or just cut them the fuck off.
And I know we got subjects to talk about.
Gross.
But we got plenty of time to talk about that in just a second. I want to talk about my Halloween. What I want to be for Halloween.
Girl, let's do that. What do you want to do?
You know what I want to be for Halloween?
A whore. More than you already are, or less than?
Okay, I'm going to answer that.
Silence is the loudest, mama.
I'm going to answer that question with this statement. I want to be fucked for Halloween. That's exactly what I want. I am sick and tired.
I will post her Instagram info. You can direct message her.
Yes.
I will post her Twitter.
Yes.
Her phone number, her email.
After the whole COVID incident last year of me staying in the house and...
That was serious.
Yeah, that was serious shit.
Fucked.
And all this. and you know what? The funny thing is, all these queens on all the dating sites won't take risks. They won't take chances. I'm like, bitch, I'm not fixing to get COVID.
First and foremost.
After a blowjob. No, thank you.
Just so we can get our shit situated and lined up. You're on the hookup apps. So if you have any higher expectations than the hookup app,
exactly.
It's intended for, you're in the wrong place, mamas. Maybe you want to migrate over to like Tinder or Bumbles or something.
I don't understand queens who get upset because they can't find a relationship on Growler and Scruff.
Those are the ones that fucking crack me the fuck up.
Like,
I am here for LTR. Girl, no, you're not.
No, you're not.
The fuck? You're not. It's like when I tell people, when you go to the bar and you're trying to find love at the bar, I tell people, it's like, the percentage is small. The majority of the people that go out to the bar scene, they're not looking for a relationship. They're looking for their next hookup, their next fuck, their next whatever. Like, yeah, you can occasionally find love.
I don't want to, I'm going to be honest. I love the bar scene sometimes.
I do too.
But I don't want to.
I do too. I'm just saying, be realistic about your expectations when you go to on these apps or when you go to the bar scene. Don't go out there with one thing in mind, and then when you get the other, you're like, this is not what I thought it was. Like, girl,
sweetie,
we've been told you.
I'm literally at the point where I'm about to call myself a gay incel because Daddy ain't had none in quite some time.
A gay what?
Incel.
The fuck is that?
Oh my God. Where have you been?
Break it down for the younger generation.
The younger generation knows what an incel is.
What the fuck? I don't. Okay, I don't. For people like me who are listening and or watching.
Incels are young men who are still in the virginal stages, who are upset that women are not giving them the sex that they deserve.
Wait, so they're a virgin and they have high expectations, and when they're not delivered and or met, they get upset?
They are an online community.
How dare you, virgins?
They are an online community of very pissed off men who think that women owe them sex and they should be getting sex, and that women only give sex to alphas.
I feel like this demographic lives in their mom's basements.
Yeah, they pretty much.
I feel like that's
and a couple of these people have gone out and done some horrible things.
Oh no!
We had a shooting not too long ago where one went out and shot several women in California. I think it was a sorority because he felt like that these women were. Now, let me roll this back by saying this.
Blah, blah, blah,
I don't
blah.
have all the details.
Okay.
You can Google it. Right. It really did happen.
She didn't do her homework and research before.
But, you know, when you were asking me on the fly, I thought you already knew what an incel was.
I had no idea.
So, yeah,
literally
it's been something
actually, as a matter of fact, it's the first time ever hearing that word.
I see it. Summer 2020 online all the time. I read everything.
She better.
I read everything.
She's a reader, y'all.
Yeah, exactly.
She's in a book club.
I do not want to be a gay incel. I do not want to have to tell gay men that you owe me sex, and I'm gonna take it.
Why not? Why not?
Because that's sexual assault.
You gotta get what's owed to you, Joel.
And that's sexual assault, and I don't want to.
No,
I don't want to do that.
I don't want to joke on sexual assault.
I want to put this out here. You know what?
You want to get fucked again? What are you trying to put out there?
You know, I want to remind people of this.
Macaroni
First of all,
in a pot.
I'm versatile. So just tell me what you want.
Can you spell versatile for me?
I can, and I'm not going to right now.
Because you can't. Even if you tried.
I'm top and bottom. How about that? I can spell those two words.
You're more... You know what? I'll let you live your fantasy.
Can I have my fantasy?
Can you be that girl? Live your best life.
I want nothing more than my costume of me being inside someone or someone being inside of me.
Right.
I could do all of the above. We don't have to negotiate or argue. You don't have Now I know you've probably been in a situation where you met a guy. Y'all had a great time together. Y'all got back to the place. Y'all got a little romantic.
Yeah.
And then he went, "Oh, I'm a top."
Oh.
And then you went, "Oh, but I'm a top."
Oh.
And then you rolled it out, watched some football, and drank beer, and then went home.
It comes down to paper, rock, scissors.
Does it really?
Somebody's gonna get something out of this.
Does it really? Because I would think that two tops would be too aggressive.
I mean, if you're flexible too, I mean, just paper, rock, scissors that shit out. Make sure
But you know,
I wasn't prepared. Be warned, I wasn't prepared for this. So you're gonna get what you're gonna get.
Yeah, but on the same
token,
am I
going to complain along the way? Yes, I am.
At the same token, when you have to deal with hardcore, I am strictly this.
Oh, like power tops.
Yes, or power bottoms. I am strict. I do not do that other stuff.
I love when you see the power bottoms get so insulted. I will not.
I will not fuck you. I'm like, wait, whoa, calm down.
And then next week they're like, I'm a top.
I'm just saying that maybe it could be something we could negotiate later on because I'm versatile and I don't mind. If you want me to fuck you, I will fuck you. I don't have a problem with that,
Joel.
I don't have a problem. Look, is
that your description on your profile? Like,
it should be. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go into all my dating profiles. I'm not going to say my dating profiles.
I just want to get fucked.
I just want to get fucked. Or I just want to fuck.
Power bottom that wants to get fucked.
Or I just want to fuck. Either one. I mean, you're going to be hearing this.
Wrestle.
You've heard it for Halloween. You're going to hear it for Thanksgiving if it doesn't happen before Thanksgiving.
You're going to hear it for Christmas.
You're going to hear it for New Year's.
Valentine's Day, St. Patty's. Easter, Cinco de Mayo.
I'm going to put a telethon.
Cinco de Mayo, depending on what side of the town you're from.
I'm going to put a telethon together.
Not a telethon.
Yes, ma'am. I will put a telethon.
And everything.
I need to get stuff taken care of because you know when you watch porn, to me it's like watching a cooking show.
What is this telethon's going to be called?
You know what? I think it's going to be just simply going to be called Joel Wants to Get Fucked. Here's the 1-800 number.
I'm envisioning like the audience, the stage, the guy on the
All
microphone.
I'm asking for is 2 things.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Joel Wants to Get Fucked. Please call in right now and donate.
I'm going to have a row of operators.
Please donate dick. We are accepting any and all kinds of dick. If your dick is available, please call, set an appointment up with one of our many wonderful.
And I'm a man of varied taste.
Bitch, now that we have green screen, I'm going to put one of those scenarios.
Please do. Please do.
Watch.
And I'm a man of varied taste. I do not discriminate. I will accept all countries.
You're a man who has no choice.
I will.
No, I'm kidding.
Exactly. I will accept all countries, all nationalities,
Borderline desperate.
all races.
Borderline
Racist?
needy.
Did I say racist?
Yeah, wow.
No, we're not doing race play.
Trump supporters, please line up to her whole come on at a time. She will be face down, ass up.
Would I toss a Trump supporter out of bed?
Yes, you will. Not trust. You will toss him around and then toss him out your apartment.
Thank you. I'll do that.
She's an equal opportunist.
I do not like your politics, but I like your dick. So there we go.
Period.
There we go. So that is my Halloween wish for right now.
So, Joe, how was your week, sweetie?
I just literally described my week by saying I just want to be fucked.
And that's on God. Period.
I'm not here to bullshit.
Wait, did you say what you were going to be for Halloween?
Yes, I said I want to be fucked.
What's your second costume?
My second costume is to be a 69.
Okay. This is a very sexually themed Halloween for you.
This is, yes, because Daddy, I am...
So you're that girl who wants to just get rammed.
I'm tired of watching cookie shows,
You
y'all.
want a train ran on you. You want to be thrown in the middle of the bathhouse.
I want the entire
You want to visit every
Astros
glory hole in town.
World Series
She
team.
will host. She will travel. She will have accommodations.
Yes.
She will bring poppers.
Yes.
She is that girl.
I will tell me what you need me to bring, and I'll bring it.
Everything but desperation, please.
The desperation will comes along
It's
with that.
included?
Man. It's already included. You don't get your money back on that. That's
Desperation
already
is
included.
free. It's included in the package.
It's free of charge. Yes. Yes, sir. You don't even have to pay for that. It's already there.
No, you cannot opt out of that package.
I just asked for disease-free and doesn't party too much.
on the apps. Got it. That works, girl. Realistic.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean. I
Groundbreaking. Disease free on the app.
I needed to put that out there because every Halloween,
Wishful thinking is what that is.
every Halloween, I buy these elaborate costumes
And don't use one of them at all.
and get out there in the world, and everybody's like, "Oh, I love your costume," and blah 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 blah. And then I come home and I'm masturbating again.
Wow.
And I'm like, "Are you fucking serious?" I put thought and effort into this. Come on, we're all out here wearing these costumes to get laid.
You're right.
Ain't nobody. Let's just stop the line.
Halloween's that holiday. You get to be slutty. Remember, Mean Girls?
Exactly. You get to be slutty, and I want to be as slutty as possible. And I have tried to be subtle about it in the past few costumes that I've worn, but I'm not being subtle about it anymore. I want the dick.
This time is just jockstrap. That's it. Jockstrap and possibly a mask.
And possibly,
Girl, just go to the bathhouse on October 31st.
Lord.
Honestly, you'll get what
girl,
you.
it's gonna be packed.
You know how much what you're looking for?
Oh Lord, do you know how much? Then I have to.
Oh, now
I have
she's
to
away about the
shave.
competition.
I've got to moisturize. I guess. Oh my God, that's just gonna. Oh
You trying to get it or not?
yes.
Okay, then put some effort into it.
I guess I'm willing to put the work into it.
Okay, mamas, period. So did I tell you what I did this week? So last weekend I went out of town. I took off on Saturday, and then so Saturday, Sunday, and came back Monday. So I went to Baton Rouge on Saturday, and because my friend invited me to a HBCU homecoming, Southern University, which that was cute as hell.
I'm sorry, your friend or your friend?
My friend of a friend. The shade, bitch.
I'm not trying to throw any shade, but I'm just saying. Did you go with a friend or did you go with your friend?
Like I was saying in my story, I went with my friend. We're not gonna define the title.
Okay, we don't.
We're just gonna thank you. And so, but it was a badass time. We went to this to Southern University. which is near LSU over in Baton Rouge. And then my friend used to be in the band. It used to be one of the marching band for them. And so I got to see the whole. Actually, I'll post a clip. I did record a little bit of video of them, like doing a little rehearsal type thing. Because I think each class would come in for homecoming to watch the new class play. And at the same time, they would donate a big check to them, kind of to contribute towards whatever they needed for equipment, uniforms, whatever, I'm assuming. Then we walked around the whole campus and just hanged out with people that my friend knew, and I got to meet a lot of interesting people. And I've never been in the HBCU environment, so I thought that was cool as fuck. So I enjoyed it. I had a good time.
You have literally fulfilled the fantasy of every 35-year-old man. Yep. Whether they're straight or gay, which is to get to walk around a college campus and look at hotties.
Oh, there was a lot of cuties there.
Yeah, you were. Sure. Yeah. And 35 is about that age where you walk around a college campus going,
girl, it was cute.
It's still acceptable.
Then we went out later that night. We went out to the gay bars in the neighborhood too. That was cute too. They had we actually had a really good time. Surprisingly, because I didn't realize how small of a city Baton Rouge is.
It's pretty small.
It's a small city, so there's limited fun to do and whatnot. But we ended up going to a gay bar named George's, and that was cute. Girl, you clearly can tell they don't have TABC out there. And for those who don't know, TABC is Texas Alcohol Bureau Commission. So they monitor and they watch all the alcohol, like anything alcohol related in Texas.
I've been in Louisiana.
They watch.
There's
not there. So yeah, it caught me off guard because the bartender, we asked him for Jack Coke and Jack Sprite. This dude poured out straight out the bottle, no spout. He was just like bloop 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 bloop, and went splash of Sprite. Splash of Coke, and gave us the biggest cup they had, and we were just looking at it like, oh, we asked for a single. He's like, yeah, that's a single. Oh, so I'm thinking like, great, we're going to spend like $10, $15 per drink, which is fine. He filled it up anyways. No, it was like $7 a cup. I was like, oh, bitch, we had 2 of them cups, and we were lit at that hour.
Sweetie, how many straight people do you know who go to gay bars knowing exactly the fact that the alcoholic drinks are heavy?
The gay pour.
The gay pour. That's a real thing, y'all.
It sure is.
That is a real thing.
So then we went to that one, and then we went to another one called Splash, I believe is what it was called. That one was cute. It was a dance club. It was fun. It had a good amount of people there. I was out on a Saturday, which normally I don't go out on Saturdays because I work Saturdays. So to me to be out on a busy night I felt weird. I was like, because I'm used to being out on the weekdays. I'm used to hanging out where it's like super chill. You go to a grocery store, there's not that many people. You go to the mall, there's like, you can park in the front and no problem. That's why I'm not used to going out on the weekends like that. On the weekends, I don't even go out to do shit. I do all my shopping and everything I need to during the week.
You go out during what I call the suit and tie evenings. That's where everybody gets out of work from downtown Houston, and they still in their shirt and ties, and they all talking about work.
Yeah.
And all this other stuff.
Yeah.
While you spend half an hour trying to get in their pants, they spend most of the time talking about work.
And then the next day, so we stayed that night in Baton Rouge, and then the next day we went over to New Orleans in the morning. So we got there early. We couldn't check in until like 3 or 4 p.m. So we just ended up walking around. We left we took the car so that we left the suitcases in the trunk, safety. And we just walked around. And actually, this is my first time I actually enjoyed New Orleans for like drinking. Because the last 2 times that I've been, it was always like touristy shit, hanging out with a few friends, go out at nighttime and drink. This time we actually spent like the majority of the day, like, that's when I realized New Orleans is definitely a drinking city, hands down. You can go to any bar, and that's what I love. Any bar, and you walk around with your drinks. Like, you can buy a drink at the bar. They'll give it to you in a plastic cup, and you can walk around the French Quarter with that same cup until you go to the next bar and buy another drink. And
I've been in New Orleans several times. I know how it works. But.
So that was fun for me. I knew that they've done that before, but it was different this time, though. This time they were requiring your COVID card, your shots, and all that. And then they were requiring mask everywhere you went inside. Until you got in and had a drink or something, then you could take it off. But at that point, I found out that we go there that Sunday, that next Wednesday, they were taking the mask mandate was lifting up for them, so they were already checked out mentally. Half the bars were like, "Just come in, girl." Some of the restaurants were like, "We don't give a fuck. Are you gonna eat or not?" Like they didn't. Even, they barely. Only the bars would ask us. I showed mine, and it was like good to go. My friend showed his. We were good to go. But yeah, no, we had fun in New Orleans. Just drank a lot and then by the time Monday came out, I was like, I don't want to drink anymore. I was like, I'm done. This is it. I was hungover as fuck. I was a moody, hungover bitch in the morning. I was just like, well, let's go do this. I don't give a fuck. Let's go. Leave me alone.
Unless it involves eggs and sausage, do not talk to me.
Okay, for real.
Put those curtains out.
Yeah.
Get that sunlight out of here. I don't want to talk to anybody until I've had some breakfast.
My stomach was sensitive as fuck. I couldn't eat anything. So the first thing I did was the nearest little convenience store. I bought some Gatorade and just chugged that shit down. I accidentally drank New Orleans tap water, which I would not recommend.
Have you seen how dirty this state is?
Yes, and
but
this is why it led to that. So I always, when I travel, I always buy the big water bottles because I knew that's what I'm going to be drinking at the room. I don't trust the water they have. But that morning I ran out. I took the last sip of my water and didn't have enough. So I told my friends, like, can you please give me some water? Like I'm fucking like dying of thirst here. And then my body aches too much to get up. So they gave me water and I just didn't think. I didn't know how bad it was. So I just started chugging. Glug, 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 glug. And by the time I realized I was like 3 gulps in, I was like, hold on, wait a minute. And I almost wanted to throw that fucking water up. That water was fucking disgusting. Not throwing shade or talking shit about New Orleans. I'm just saying the water was disgusting. I love New Orleans.
The entire state of Louisiana, just filthy.
Girl, that water was
I'm not
disgusting. And anybody I've told to that I accidentally drank the water, they looked at me like, are you fucking crazy? Like, why would you do that? Like, we all know. I was like, girl, I don't know. That was my first time drinking that water. Like,
I barely like drinking the drinks. I'm like, make sure.
And normally, when it comes to water, like I filter my own water at home, so like I'm used to like filter water all the goddamn time. So when I'm drinking regular tap water, I can taste the fucking difference. I could taste it.
And I bought a filter simply because I didn't want water bottles in the house because I don't like all that plastic.
Also, I want to give a shout out to Whole Foods. If you love Whole Foods, like I love Whole Foods, primarily because of their hot bar. It's like a little buffet. You grab a box and you fill it in and you pay by the weight. Thank God that the Baton Rouge ones, their hot buffet was open, girl. The hot bar is what they call it.
You know what's surprising?
And they had some delicious ass chicken noodle soup that saved my hungover ass, bitch. That hot chicken noodle soup came clutch.
I would never think that a state like Louisiana would even have a Whole Foods. I mean,
bitch.
It would. I mean, we talk about Louisiana here. Okay. I would never think that Louisiana. I never even thought about all the times that I've been to Louisiana, and some of them have been
there's
recent.
One down the street from you, kind of, sort of.
Yeah, I know. There's one only like half a mile down the street.
I'm on Kirby.
Yeah, on Kirby. But in New Orleans, and I've been several times, even recently. Yeah. I never thought of a Whole Foods. In New Orleans, because I didn't think
that's my go-to for lunches all the time. Their food is healthy as hell.
If I could go to New Orleans, now that I know, I would rather eat food at Whole Foods than at most of the places in New Orleans.
Girl, Whole Foods. Like I've been eating their hot bars, and my friend, I have several friends that I've turned on to. Like I tell them, or I've taken them to eat there. I'm like, come eat. Now they go on their own. Like, oh, I love that place. That place. Thank you for showing me that trick. I didn't know that, bitch. They always have food ready, and it's healthy. It's delicious. It's organic. It's the best.
You know, I'm going to be honest. I don't worry about the organic label because the rules on that are so loose, it's ridiculous.
They really are.
They're just too loose.
Oh, and thank God they had coconut water. Coconut water brought me back to life.
Can I tell you this? The funniest thing that I ever saw at Whole Foods when I worked in Bel Air.
Dick.
That one, yes, the dick is pretty healthy especially the one on Kirby. Not the one in Bel Air, but the one on Kirby.
Yeah.
The one on Kirby, that dick is usually unattached.
River Oaks dick. And
Bel Air dick is almost always attached to something with several kids. So we don't want to have to deal with that.
Girl, bye.
And trust me, I've been in Bel Air enough to know that I can get it.
Our Whole Foods here near your house is next to an affluent neighborhood. So, like, you're getting the sugar daddies coming all the time, just very casually. You can tell they park in their Mercedes, Porsches, Audis, what else, Range Rovers, and I'm just like, hey, I'm here for lunch.
I was with my cousin one time, and he was actually picking up something for his mother at Whole Foods. And I'm sitting in the car, and the car next to me, I think was a Porsche, and the guy is sitting in the car, and I'm on the passenger side.
Yeah.
And I turned to look, and I wasn't quite sure. But in my mind, I was like, is he doing what I think he's doing? I thought he was on his phone at first.
Was he jacking off?
Girl, he was all I saw was this. And I'm like, what is going on over there? I'm like, okay, first of all,
I've seen a guy in the neighborhood. You've accidentally walked by cars and you just happen to look in and you're like, oh, that's what you're doing. I've seen it a few times in the neighborhood. Casually walking to my car, nighttime, daytime, working the bars. You work the bars and you walk, you got
see
them.
Stuff.
They're out there.
You've seen stuff.
I've seen, and that's funny is when
I've been involved in some of that stuff.
There's two reactions I get. Oh, you caught me. Shit, I'm embarrassed. Or there's like, oh, you like what you see? Mm-hmm. And there's like, no, I'm trying to get to my car.
I like that stare where they know that you're looking, but they keep going anyway.
Oh, they do. That's what I'm saying. That's that look. That's the second look.
I love that look. That look is amazing.
And I'll look at them. We'll make eye contact. I'm just like, do you, boo? Mm-hmm. Do you have fun? I'm not gonna partake.
And I live right down the street from an ice house and a bar, and the times that I've walked down the street just to go innocently to the store where I've seen couples in the back, especially in SUVs.
Okay.
And I see that little. You think you hiding under that blanket, but I see that ass rise up in the air.
Yes.
I know what's going on.
Okay.
And half of the people who are walking by knows what's going on.
Sex.
And I'm like, y'all, really? Y'all couldn't wait to get home?
Hey man, the spur of the moment. You got to keep it exciting sometimes.
When you're young and you just want to let it loose. You just let it loose. But you know what? Don't discount the old people. They do it too.
They sure do.
They sure do. Oh my God.
Too.
They don't have a problem with it.
At all.
When I was younger, I used to see, oh my God, going to the nude beach.
Yeah.
And
I've yet to go to a nude beach, by the way.
You know what? I went to the one off of, in Galveston, when you cross the Bolivar Peninsula.
Oh, yeah.
And you drive all the way to the end where the little barricade is, where you have to drive around it. And I saw the teenagers would go sometimes just to look at the naked people and laugh.
Yeah.
But it's mostly old folks out there, and they just let it all just hang out.
Let them live their best life.
Just living their best lives. I've seen married couples out there. I saw the biggest dick I've ever seen on the beach.
Did you really?
With his girlfriend, who obviously had a lot of work done.
That's a porn category, nude beaches, and people really get freaky on nude.
They get freaky.
I watched this Vice documentary the other day about swinger couples and these swinger couple resorts. And so this guy went in there, his research, he was in there like trying to find out swinger culture, which by the way, we're not judging, we're not putting the swinger culture down. I was like, more power to you. If y'all are open like that, get it. Open to that kind of lifestyle, get it, girl. Like, I'm not judging, but they were showing how like the moment you walk in, it becomes like a whole sex party, 24/7, 365. Each couple has their rule. There are like the basic swinger rules, the way they were explaining that on the video, the way you approach, the way you ask, the way to show interest, things of that nature. And you always, at the end of the day, have to be respectful. Like, if somebody says no, then just move on to the next. Typically, you kind of talk to the husband first. Hey, what's going on? I'm interested in your wife, your husband. And they just fuck around and have fun.
Well, HBO used to have a series on sex.
Yeah.
That I used to watch religiously.
But you know what? I know you're talking about. I forgot the name of it.
Yeah, it used to come on a long time ago. And I think they only had one episode.
What's the name of it?
Oh, I'm trying to remember.
Oh, girl, it was a classic one.
I know, it was classic.
I remember being 13 and jacking off to it.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember being 13.
You were 13. I were in my 20s, like watching it, going, "Oh my God, this is kind of hot."
Oh,
but it's full of heterosexuals.
I'm using Joel's phone, his secondary phone, and he forgot to close his browser.
Oh, it's not like any other gay man's browser. You wouldn't open up and see the same thing.
Angry morning. White boy wakes up to mad. White boy wakes up mad to suck and gets bred by big black cock.
Oh, good Lord.
I'm going to start watching it just to see what this is.
Okay, are you really going to watch it right now while we're on camp? Oh, you're really going to watch it? And he is watching it.
He wakes up mad.
And he wakes up mad.
You better get in there, little twink. Oh.
I don't know who's bad, or the twink or the black guy, but it's an interesting video. Oh my God! Look at you,
sharing
porn on a podcast. Look at that!
I love that you went on private. That's cute. We all do. Don't worry.
We all do. We don't want
on Android.
You know, one of my.
I forgot what I was even looking up in the first place.
I know, right?
What were we talking about?
You were going to look something up on the phone, and then you saw that, you go, hey, I have Joel's phone. And guess what I come to the first time? And I'm like,
hello.
Oh, Lord, is it going to be porn?
Do I even want to touch? I need to.
I don't use that phone, by the way.
Yeah, clearly.
I did not.
Clearly.
I use my iPad when I'm at home.
I'm just staring at my hands now.
You don't have to worry.
That.
Look how clean that phone is, spotless. I just look it up to see what.
Let me wash my hands with whiskey real quick.
Let me tell you right now that phone is spotless.
I'm already here, ladies and gentlemen. I will be sure to wash my hands thoroughly.
You're a bartender in Montrose. You have put your hands on worse.
I sure have. But it's because I didn't know where it was coming from. Now that I'm here sitting with you and I know the direct source, I might as well drink New Orleans water while I'm here with it.
Okay, well, you know what?
I might as well watch porn and drink New Orleans water. Go.
I need you to be a little bit more positive because, there are people watching, and I literally just
Do you want me to be positive about your porn phone that was in your hand while you
have been
participating with yourself?
For the D earlier on in the episode. So
what does this have to do with me, sweetie?
Because then you're gonna be one of those critics.
I'm concerned about my health right now. Exactly. I'm concerned about
exactly. You're gonna be one of those critics who are gonna be like, "Do you really want to have sex with Joel? He has diseases."
No, girl. What I'm concerned about is the sudden realization that I have a phone in my hand that was once in your hand while you were performing a very intimate act. And then not knowing what residue I may be touching or not touching, and then not having sanitizer anywhere nearby
Let me put your mind at ease.
Don't.
Or maybe
don't. You're just going to make it worse.
Yeah, or let me make it worse. You've had that phone in your hand
the
1,000 times. So you can quit worrying right now.
My life.
You have been fine since that. You've been fine since that.
Forward, she will be sanitized every single time, pre-show, post-show.
I keep telling you she's sanitized, and yet you do not believe me for some reason.
I'm going to bring my gloves.
You have used that phone 1,000 times,
and little did I know.
You've had it at your house.
I have.
You've. I don't even know what you've done. Maybe you were watching porn on my phone while you were.
No, sweetie, I have my own phone for that. I have my own device.
I like how everybody admits to the fact that they use their phone for porn.
It's quick and easy.
And by the way, you don't get viruses.
We'll find out. I'll tell y'all next week what is new in my life. That segment of the show.
I meant computer viruses. I don't mean the other stuff.
Okay.
The other stuff, that's all on you.
So there's
But you're already in the control group, honey.
Hey, can I borrow that bleach over there on your counter?
I could probably take some of your blood and come up with an antidote for whatever you think you might have caught.
Please don't. I'm not into blood play.
I'm not into blood play. Blood pay.
Sound it out, sweetie. Butt play? You're into butt play.
Blood play. Either. So either
or.
Either or.
This has taken a great turn of events.
A very dark turn.
That
he has learned more about me than he should.
Yeah, he's into white boys who are angry at sucking black dick. That was a good one, by the way. That was actually a good one.
That one popped up on mine. That was not the one I was actually looking for. I was actually trying to skip over that one.
Clearly, it was the only browser open.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean,
the only tab in your browser that was open.
Okay, I have several devices. Maybe I was just looking at that and going, you know what? No, I don't want to use it.
Now I don't want to touch your iPad, your other phone. I'm just gonna start coming in with my own mask moving forward. I touched my face.
Okay, you have literally already touched that phone 1,000 times. Just let it go.
I'm trying. I'm trying to
You've let other people touch it. What? We had cooking shows with that.
We did. And we ate that food. Little did we know at the time the crime that has been committed.
We owe an apology to two of the chefs.
You owe an apology, not we. I just found out.
How do I owe an apology?
It was your phone. We were all unaware. We were victims to your plan. What do you think you are?
And none of it has worked because
We're in a post-pandemic era, sir.
None of it has worked. I don't have anybody cooking for me or sexing me up. So none of it has worked. Not one of it has worked. I've tried. Look, some witch told me to do that one time. I tried. It's not working.
I got on TikTok Tarot the other day just for the kick of it. Mm-hmm. And I actually had this girl read the cards and read the filth out of me. Like, word for word. She went card by card. She's like, this, and that. And I was like, actually, yeah. Oh, and I see this popped up and this situation happened. Was it like this? And I was, wow, how do you know? And she just kept going on. And finally, she's like, if you want the full reading, you got to pay me more. But, like, I gave her like a $5 tip. I was like, thanks, sweetie. Appreciate ya.
I'm on either super far left TikTok or super
Angry
thirst.
or white boys sucking angry black dick.
Yeah.
Talk.
Or super thirst trap TikTok, which is my own fault, by the way, because the thirst traps are everywhere.
They are.
They are.
Starts with one click, one like.
All it takes, yes, exactly.
And that algorithm goes into overtime,
and it's
baby.
sweatpants season, and they are showing off the goods on TikTok. They are figuring out ways to get around the algorithm to show off what they got.
I like the ones that are creative about it, but the ones that are tacky and like blatant about it, like, girl, let's make it like worth my eye searching, not like you're just throwing it in my face. Bitch.
And I've never been one for. I like a little mystery.
Do you?
I do.
I don't. Hence your phone. Bitch.
I'm talking about sweatpants. We're not talking about cooking shows. I call them cooking shows.
That's not called cooking. That's called.
Okay. Well, I've learned several new
form of cooking. But
yes, I've learned several new recipes from that. So that's fun.
I actually learned how to make Cuban coffee off of TikTok. I really did, and it's become my obsession moving forward.
That sounds very sexual.
I make espressos all the time now. I'm like the espresso queen in my own house.
You still have not brought me Cuban coffee.
I can bring it here and make it. It's not that hard.
We talked about this several times. I would rather have Cuban coffee and be like super hyped up and bouncing off the walls.
Bring the Cuban coffee when you bring the sanitizer.
Than alcohol. Because honestly, I think it would be fun.
When you bring the sanitizer, I'll bring the Cuban coffee.
I have tons of sanitizer around the house, sweetie.
Oh, she do?
I have hand sanitizer sitting right there. Right there.
The one labeled Clorox?
No, not the one labeled Clorox. There is actual hand sanitizer. And Clorox, if you need Clorox.
At this point, yes.
I'm sorry, weren't you going to confer with the notes here? Or are you going to look at the notes?
I honestly forgot what I was looking up. I got so caught up in that moment. The worst part is I held the phone really close to my face so y'all could hear the sound of the porn. I'm like, wait a minute.
Okay. Once again, I keep trying to reassure you, I do not use that phone.
It's okay, mama. You can. Actually, your actions speak louder than your words.
It's never in my hand or on any other place.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that was a lie. I'm gonna go ahead and say you're not.
How many times have I handled your phone, knowing full well what you were doing?
Never. My phone is full of projects and creativity. Like honestly, like my phone.
You just admitted earlier that you use your phone for porn.
To watch, yes, and then I close that browser and never go back to it again. I don't even save the tabs. I just like missed whatever's.
I wasn't trying to save the tab.
No, I know. You just accidentally left it. I've done it. I know, and I've done that before. I've done it where I accidentally left the tab open, and then like next thing you know, I open it in front of people. Like, oh, give me a second while I clear my browser.
Quick, funny story.
Yeah.
One of the managers, who's a very good friend of mine, when I first got a job at where I'm working at now, and this was years ago, I was sitting at the table and I had my phone sitting down. And when I slapped my phone down and I was talking to the interviewer, porn popped up on my phone.
No.
Yeah.
Why did I just put my phone?
Porn popped up on my phone. I just did this. But we were talking so much, and when I'm in an interview and an interviewer and I are clicking, we were clicking. So we were so into what we were talking about.
We're clicking to the same porn, clearly.
We weren't even talking about the job. We were talking about some mutual interests.
Those
or
scenarios
something.
where like the more you try to turn it off, the less it would turn off.
No. My friend said, I walked past the table. The first thing I saw was your porn. I took your phone and I flipped it, and then I kept right on walking because I didn't want to say anything. And he says he loves telling that story.
Oh my God!
Wherever he goes, because he said, I wouldn't have gotten the job if she had even glanced at the fact that my phone was playing porn.
Yeah.
But the fact
She
that
would've
he
said,
walked
"Thank
past,
you."
the fact that he walked past and just happened to look down and there was porn playing on my phone.
Oh my god!
I'm like, oh my god! I was
so you
so
didn't
embarrassed.
you didn't get caught.
No, I didn't get caught. I got the job.
Thank God.
I got the job.
That
So
would have been embarrassing.
that would have been the most embarrassing thing that could have possibly.
Kudos to that friend. You still friends with that person?
Oh yes,
I'm sorry.
yes. But he and I have a history, so that's not that kind of history. Not that kind of history.
Like friendship history, we're like up and down, or like sexual history, we're like
friendship history, because that's a different story. And by the way, his wife is.
Oh, now you want to keep your life private? But like 5 minutes ago, you just tell me about your masturbation techniques, but suddenly, all of a sudden, your faults with your friend is a private moment.
You know what's going to be weird?
I just think it's funny.
You want to know what's going to be weird is one of the biggest fans of this show and of the podcast.
The only one we have. Thank you for watching, by the way.
She is married to this person. So she already knows the story. So I'm sure that
know them?
No, you don't know them. I really wish you did.
Now I want to meet them.
Yes, because they are a wonderful couple.
Aww.
And she has been my biggest fan and biggest supporter for quite some time. She has listened to every episode.
Oh, that's nice.
Every
Hi, sweetheart.
episode.
How are you? Thank you for listening.
Thank
you for being that consistent one view that we have on YouTube.
I know, right? She is like, she will send me messages like, Joel, I listened to that last episode. I feel like that you weren't having a good day.
Oh.
So I just want to let you know.
I bring it out of him sometimes.
You need to bring it up, because if we're going to do this
on the
thing.
cheerleader in the background.
You have to, yes.
Thank you for doing that. I appreciate it.
So, yeah. So she's been the biggest fan of. And
when I say it, I'm a bitch. But when you say it, you're being a best friend.
Actually, she said, the new guy, I kind of like him. He's hot.
Thanks, honey. Yes, I appreciate that.
One of the reasons why I brought him on is because he's
my
hot.
Looks. That's it. Not
he's
my talent.
Only here for looks.
Not what I bring to the table. I'm only here to look cute.
I don't even know.
And that's it. And you know why though? Because I'm that girl. I'm only good for one thing.
He is that girl, and I don't even know if he has an even decent sized penis. I just know that.
No, I do.
I just know that.
That's my friend.
He's a nice. You don't. Why are you trying to convince me?
I'm not.
Did we just literally sit here and have this conversation? Yes, I have a nice sized penis, Joel.
I'm still traumatized.
You sound like a straight guy.
We've gone through a lot. Straight to the dick. Yes. Let's clarify. Straight to the dick.
I'm not going straight to the dick. I'm sure that the dick is nice.
I haven't been straight in over 10 years, honey. That's a long time.
10 years.
I think the last female I ever messed around with was back when I first moved to Texas. Because I still wasn't fully out the closet. And then like a year after living in Texas, I was like, I'm going to start going to the gay scene because I want... I was where you are now. I want penis, and I want this and that. And yeah, I was that girl.
You know, the funny thing is that the first time that I saw you, I actually thought you were straight.
A lot of people do. Because I just carry myself very masculine. I'm comfortable in my own skin. I don't try to...
Well, you know, the fact is that I've run into a lot of people...
Until you hear this voice, and then you're like, what the fuck?
Well, you know, in this neighborhood, I've run into a lot of people who worked or works at the bars.
Oh, yeah. Straight. Yeah, I've worked with a few of them, yeah.
And, you know, you don't want to assume.
Let's just say they're not all straight as they appear or sound. Girl, they will tell you they're straight for days, but we know the stories, and they're not real.
Okay,
straight.
They only tell me they're straight for 5 minutes, and then 10 minutes later, they're done.
I've seen the straight bartenders be straight,
but 10 minutes
with
later,
other men.
They're done. You understand what I'm saying, right?
Half of them are gay for pay, half are fucked around, half are either they're bisexual or they're open, or they are low key, very low DL'd.
You know what? Here's actually a really good question. How many men have you lain with who have openly said that they were straight?
One. Like, straight. I'm straight, dude. I don't do that. Let's go.
One?
And then we were sucking each other's dick.
I'm sorry. Just one?
As far as straight wise?
Yes.
Yeah. That's one. Yeah. I don't have good luck with straight men. I really don't. I try. I did the straight chasing thing for the longest, and I never had luck with straight men. I don't know if it was because I put off too much masculine energy. I wasn't gay enough for them, but and I've had this conversation with other guys. I think it almost came down to like, what's wrong with me? But I just realized it's not for me. It's not my forte. I stopped chasing straight men a long time ago.
I'm super confused.
It's a fucking game. Straight men.
I'm super confused because honestly,
You've had
relations with several straight men.
And I've tried, and I've gotten close many times, but I don't know. Sometimes I don't pick up on their games, or I don't put up with their games, and so I just give up.
But it was always a surprise for me.
Yeah.
It was never I was trying to, like, hook up with them.
Yeah.
It was always a surprise, and I'm like, wait, what just happened?
And I've tried to get that surprise, and it just, the more I've tried, I gave up after a while. I really did. I gave up. It became frustrating for me. I was just like, I was wasting my time. I'm like, dude, I'm trying to get laid or get fucked or fuck somebody or something, and you're over here like not even giving me the time, and then I'm simping over you. You know what a simp is?
Yes, I know what a simp is.
Oh, you do watch TikTok.
I do watch TikTok. But the fact of the matter is that I've actually lain with several straight men.
Yeah.
But it never came with I was trying to pursue
There's
that.
always been like homo flirting, like I don't know if that's the right word. There's always been flirting.
There's always been flirting back and forth
stuff. But then when I make the move, they shut down. No, hey, dude, bro, chill out, hey. And only one time it was like, yeah, what's up? Okay.
But you know, what was odd to me, and I think,
and I try to find my balance with, okay, maybe if I don't flirt, that's hard, or maybe if I don't do this as much, and maybe, and I tried, and at the end of the day, all I kept getting was frustrating. At the end of the day, I just kept getting frustrated. Nothing came out of it. I always looked, and another thing is, I don't like looking like that gay guy who straight chases and then is annoying or is too aggressive. I hate that, because that's happened to me before. When I was in the closet, and even when I came out of the closet, like, and I don't like it when gay men flirt with me like aggressively. It fucking drives me insane. I'm like, please stop. It turns me off, if anything. I'm like, please stop. You're fucking annoying. Because they become annoying. They start saying the tackiest fucking things in the world. I'm like, girl, shut the fuck up.
Honestly, I wish gay men were that aggressive with me.
They're
never that aggressive with me.
That's one thing I get a lot. A lot of aggressive men that want to aggressively flirt with me.
They're never that aggressive with me. I usually have
to a point where it's like, we fucking or not. And you're like, no, why not? And then they keep going. Finally, you gotta go like, girl. And then I have my breaking point. I'm like, girl, stop. Okay, that's enough. The answer is no. It's not going forward. Blah, blah, blah.
But it was almost always straight men that I had.
And I've always had
they always said the same thing. You're not like, you're like the guy that I can like hang out with and be friends with. You're not like this super effeminate guy. And I'm like, wait.
See, they say they don't want super feminine, but they're naturally masculine men are attracted to the feminine.
But I never understood that, because I'm like, wait a minute. I thought you would be more terrified of the fact that I'm not that.
Yeah.
Although, honestly, I think that I kind of walk down the middle. I don't really think that I'm feminine or masculine. I just think I walk down the middle. It's never been a conversation that I've ever had with myself about who I am, because it's just not. Yeah. I mean, I could be feminine in one moment and masculine in another.
I've seen both.
Yeah,
same here. Same here.
And that's been me for years.
Yeah.
But I have friends who walk on the feminine side, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
And I have friends who walk on the masculine side, 100%. And I've always been in the middle, and
and where do I fall in?
Yeah, exactly.
On that line, Joe?
It was always frustrating, because I always felt like that I had to fit in with that.
I think after a certain age, I learned. I learned to stop trying to fit in. I learned to just be myself and fuck it. You're not like me for me, and that's it.
I'm not saying that that's the current position that I'm in right now.
Right.
Now I'm at a different place where it's like, you know what?
And I'm in a different place with straight men. Like, I don't actively go chasing them anymore. I don't. I stopped that long time ago. For me, it never worked out, so I just stopped it. It became frustrating. And now now they actually flirt with me because I don't give them a time of day. Now they really, and I look at them like, girl, you think you want it, you're confused, you're wasting your time with me. Bye.
And I love in an age of social media, I love the fact that I'll be talking to straight men sometimes and not even think about it, and then suddenly I get a DM. Hey, bro. Joel, the other night when we were hanging out together, did you feel what I felt? And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? We were talking about football.
I need to find friends like this. That would be nice to find.
I don't understand what you're talking.
Want to be friends like that.
And I'm like, I'm confused, because I'm like, I thought that we were just talking on guy to guy level. I didn't think that you were like asking me to suck your dick or anything. Or on the few rare occasions where it's happened, where you did it to me, and I'm like, my God, he's better than most of the gay guys that I know.
But what has always come down to, because I found it frustrating, and I guess I'm very straightforward when it comes with straight men. I've got to a point where I just became straightforward. I was like, hey, I'll be your gay friend. Yeah, whatever. If you want to fuck around or do something, you have to let me know. Otherwise, I'm not going to pick up on your signals.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not going to chase you, and I'm not going to be that aggressive gay guy that flirts with you.
I am terrible at. I am an expert.
I can see you being a real good flirt with straight men. Though.
I am a very good flirt.
I can see that.
And I don't realize
I suck at flirting.
Yeah, I don't realize that I'm doing it, and I know that because of the years of experience I've had working in the industry, that I need to talk to people
the
a
sex
certain
working
way.
Industry, the whore industry. Which industry, Joel?
We talked about that earlier in the show.
The porn industry.
We don't really need to go down that road again.
Why are we whispering like this?
I don't know.
It's very sexy.
It is very sexy.
It must turn on all the listeners.
It does turn on.
It gets the people.
I think
going.
It's like ASMR, right?
I don't know.
When we're talking softly,
I don't know,
but sexfully. Not to each other, because that would be
never.
Weird. That would be weird.
Actually, we can go back to our normal voices at this point.
Okay. I the first time
I'm not going down this path with you.
The first time
not today.
I did see my
not
co-host.
tomorrow.
I thought,
not the day after. You might as well close the book and finish at the chapter you're in right now.
I thought,
because what's not going to happen with this girl?
He's kind of cute, but he has the long hair. He's probably got the swagger. He probably thinks he's all that.
I do.
I'm not fixing to do
I'm that girl.
Mm-hmm.
I'm that girl.
And then it turns out that I was right.
This bitch. Turns out the whole time I read him correctly.
Mm-hmm. I read him 100% correctly. He did turn, but then when he cut his hair and he lost his Samson strength, then he became this kind.
I didn't lose shit. I actually got more
wonderful
compliments.
thing.
I remember the first time I cut my hair. That like ever since I had it long, I got so many fucking compliments for weeks. Like if I forgot what it was like to get compliments after a haircut, I really did.
You're one of those people who have been keeping. Now, most people who have had long hair for a long time always try to grow it back. You, every time I see it, I'm like, did you just get a haircut?
It gets shorter and shorter and shorter every time.
Girl, you just got a haircut last week. And he's like, yep, and I want it shorter. Mm-hmm. You've embraced.
Because I like, when I get haircuts, I get it short because I don't like the repetitive process of going back to the barbershop every week or every 2 weeks. I usually go every 2 to 3 weeks, realistically. So I always tell my barbers, cut it as short as you can so I can grow into the hair before my next appointment or when I decide to show up. I don't like going to the barbershop every week. I don't like being there every 2. I just like showing up wherever I feel like I think I need a haircut, and that's it.
What's the longest you ever allowed your hair to grow? Because when I saw you,
when you saw it, right
it
here,
was
past my shoulders.
Was it past your shoulders? I thought when I saw you it was like,
when we first met, it was around about to my shoulders, and then by the time I cut it, was past my shoulders. It was long. Every once in a while, I'll miss it, but then what I don't miss is the maintenance and that's what it was. There's a lot of maintenance and keeping track of your hair, and like it became a chore. For me, it became a chore. Keeping track of it, making sure it was washed every 3 days, make sure that I kept it healthy.
Every 3 days? For
me, it varies for people. For me, it was every 3 days, max 4. By the time I hit 5 days, if I really didn't wash it, it was looking greasy, little, just real nasty. So I learned to wash it every 3 days, keep it moisturized, keep it healthy. Tying it up. That's the thing. It went from like the most hair things that I would do with my hair was just either a man bun or down. And
every time I saw you was a man bun,
and that got old real quick. I was like, I'm over this.
Which I'm like, man buns.
I'm over it. And
it looks like you should be doing yoga.
It was fun. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. It was fun while I had it. It was fun while it lasted. But now I embrace the short hair again. I missed having short hair. I missed being able to style my hair, do shit with it, random, different looks, different styles. Like, I missed it. So I'm glad to be back to it. I'm not against growing my hair out again. I know how to do it better this time. My first time I had no experience, nobody who can teach me. I had to learn all on my own. But now, I'm good to go. Guess you know why?
Here we go.
Tell
his
him.
voice.
Tell him, Joe.
There's his voice.
Tell him why. Tell him why. Don't hold back, sweetie. Don't stay quiet.
Why?
Tell him why. I'm asking you.
I'm asking you.
No, bitch. Stop whispering like you want.
You know what? Because I'm that girl. How about that? When you talk nasty, you make me nervous. I'm like, okay.
I'm not talking nasty. I was just whispering. Good Lord.
I said what I said, Miss Jackson.
I was not talking. How did you assume that was nasty? All I said was just talk in your normal voice. That's it. You don't have to. You don't. Were you turned on by that?
Not at all.
Is that something
So
that
it's been a
you
good show,
are
guys.
portraying?
Thank you all for tuning in. That part. That part.
And then I went nasty. I went nasty like 5 minutes into the show, not an hour and 4 minutes into the show.
That part, girl. That part. I don't know. What do you think? We've had a good show so far.
We've had a good show. There were a couple of topics you wanted to talk about.
We did talk after the cell phone. I definitely forgot.
We talked about a little bit of the toxicity.
The last thing I wanted to mention was that in Montrose we're having a cute little community moment where like a lot of people are coming together, entertainers, bar staff, things of that nature, where they're coming together for what is called Montrose Angels, which is a local Montrose organization, which is basically to help out anybody in the community. I'm not sure if it's mainly directed more towards industry people or just people in general. But essentially it was created by a group of guys in the community to just help out anybody in need. If something happens to one of our own, hey, I lost this, I lost that, help me out, then they have that fund. And they will be able to help out the community. So what we're working on right now, and they asked me to help work on this specific project, is called it's a calendar that they're working on. It's they're gonna sell it so they can raise funds towards the Montrose Angels to give out to whoever needs it. So right now we're in the midst of like doing the photo shoots. I'm in the midst of like helping record behind the scenes footage and helping like edit that and. So stay tuned for when that calendar comes out, and I will be posting links and things of that nature when is that time. So you guys can, whoever's listening, whoever's watching, and if you feel like you want to help or donate, we'll post up those links. We'll post up where you can buy a calendar. So we're just trying to make it a community thing right now. So right now, today's after the show, I have to go to the shoot at 6:00 for the second shoot. So, yeah, today's day 2. It should be the final day. We're shooting the last few queens that we have to shoot, and that's it. And then the calendar should be out hopefully by the end of November at the latest. So, yeah.
Well, can I throw my 2 cents in here?
No.
Because I would.
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Can't do it?
Not at all.
Not at all? Okay, so.
You can take those 2 cents and deposit that. Thank you.
So I'm going to throw my 2 cents in here.
I expect nothing less.
So we're doing a calendar.
Yes.
Like a physical calendar.
Yes, they are.
Like a calendar you
Correct.
can hang into the... May I suggest a couple of things for you?
Sure.
Since we live in a society that does everything on the internet, to have those pictures be sold online, that they could be used for memes and other things that they could be used for.
And we did throw that out there.
Yeah.
So they are making a physical copy, and they're going to make a digital copy as well. So not because I suggest that, I told them the same. People could use that as their wallpaper. People could use that as for whatever reason.
Yeah, exactly. All the things that people would love to use it for their wallpaper for their phones.
Yes.
Their computers. They could do, if they wanted to do a digital calendar, where they could load it to their calendar page.
Like desktop wallpaper.
Yeah, exactly. They could do that. I mean, all kinds of things that I would like to see.
Yes.
I love the idea of a calendar.
Heck yeah.
And I've seen, by the way,
and
you should check. Are you going to post some of the video for that?
Yeah.
Where are you going to post that
when it's
video?
ready? I'm gonna let them. I'm making the video for them. I'm gonna hand it over to whoever's in charge of the project, which was one of 2 people. And then when they're ready to drop that, if they want to use the material, which I'm assuming they are, then we'll post it on here. We can post it on our personal social media pages, and yeah, go from there.
Okay. The reason why I'm asking is simply because I also would love to post it on our social media pages.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
That kind of thing, so that we can get more word out for. I mean, because you want people to know the organization and everything else. And since we do everything online, want to make sure that they are merchandising to the hilt.
Correct.
And I would like to see mugs, T-shirts.
So that is on the roadmap for this calendar stuff. Right now, what they're focusing on is the first calendar. Just making sure it goes out, seeing the response, the feedback they get. And then there are more calendars that are going to be in the work or more photo shoots like this. So they are talking into developing more merch to create stuff to sell for the charity and whatnot.
Exactly, because I would like to see some merch that I can hang on the wall. I think it would be something artistic to put up on the wall or that kind of thing. So I would love to see more merch coming from this, simply because I think that the more merch you can sell, the more you can help the community.
Correct.
So anything that you could possibly do to do that, let's get it done. I don't want to just see it as a physical calendar.
Correct.
I want to see it as 90 different things on the internet.
That part.
Because the internet is our thing. It's here to stay. It's not going away.
Not anytime soon.
And like I said, the last time I looked at a physical calendar was kittens.
What? In the 1982
back
calendar?
in 2003. Somebody when I got an apartment in the Galleria, and one of my friends came over and said, "Hey, here's something you can hang up on your wall in your new apartment." And I'm like, "It's a picture of kittens that I'm allergic to." So you're gonna hang it up?
I was
gonna
buy you a cat. And now that I know,
please don't ever do that.
I'm gonna bring you a cat.
By the way, I love cats.
But you're just allergic
but
to them?
Hives, allergy, all kinds of stuff. I can't deal with it.
Because she's that girl.
And that girl is
allergic.
By the way, let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all something that was I might have been a little rude, and I did not mean to be rude. But he has the most.
Never.
I went over to his house for the first time, and he has the cutest little dog.
Oh, Jenny.
And this little thing just came hobbling up like this. And I'm sitting on the chair looking at this thing going,
"Get away from me. I don't
Why are you here?" And it's looking at me going,
one of the few people I've seen being antisocial with the dog.
I know. I'm not an animal person.
And I told him, I was like, she's a sweetheart. She's honestly, for a
it's
pit bull, I know that pit bulls have a bad reputation.
No. I'm not worried about pit bulls.
I know,
I've
but
been
like
around pit bulls.
in general, they have, and I understand why, because of what you see on TV and some of the type of people that raise pit bulls, that to be angry, to be malicious, to be
almost every person.
And we've heard stories, and so Jenny grew up very loved, very socialized, very. Damn it. I hope that did not. Hold on. No, somebody's calling me right now, and it might have messed with the. Let me double check that it did not stop the recording.
Did it stop the recording?
No, thank God. Okay, sorry, y'all. I had a call that popped on my watch, and then it was like, fuck, I might have stopped that, but it did not. Thank God. But no, pit bulls, and as cliche as it sounds, they have a reputation, which I understand. I used to, believe it or not, I kind of saw it that way a little. I was kind of understanding, but I was so slightly fearful. And then when I got Jenny when she was 4 months old. That, like, having her as my pet and like walking around the streets or being with her, seeing the way people react towards me or her because of her, she's intimidating to look at. But when you actually know and meet her, she has no angry, mean bone in her body. She's like a complete sweetheart, like down to the T. Like, I'll put it to you this way: the entire apartment community where I live at right now, and we all play in the dog park, they all love her. Like, genuinely, every single person.
She reminded me of like a toddler, because I'm like, I'm literally, okay. Quick story: we're at his house. We're doing the cooking episode. He's introduced me to the
legacy catering episode.
We're doing a legacy catering episode. I'm not used to being around dogs, and dogs always make me nervous. I had an experience a long time ago. We're not going to get into it, but I had an experience a long time ago.
Is that when you put peanut butter on your?
No,
different experience.
It's a little bit more traumatic than that.
Got it.
So I'm always wary around dogs.
Gotcha.
So
then
here comes this
pit bull,
which is.
I'll post a picture of her so y'all can see her.
Which is literally walking towards me like this. And I'm like, what the
And she's
hell?
naturally stocky. Like, she does. I don't exercise her. Like, besides like walking and going, she's a naturally stocky pit bull.
She's a thirst trap. She is
gorgeous.
a thirst trap. She is like full of muscles.
She's gorgeous.
And I'm kind of looking at him going, why?
And she has these beautiful eyes that just give you the sweetest look. And you're like, oh, stop.
I'm like, if you were a man, I'd be turned on right now.
So you're into bestiality.
You know, I didn't say that.
But you described it.
I'm trying to talk nicely about this dog. Can I please?
And she is, and then she's a complete sweetheart.
She's a complete sweetheart. Just sits there, looks at me like she's fascinated by me, and I'm like.
And the thing, you know what gets me about Jenny? Jenny, so when I originally got her was through my friend Dan. Mm-hmm. He got her from his barber. Mm-hmm. His barber had bought her for his son, but his wife was allergic to the short hair. Mm-hmm. And there are people that are allergic to short hair dogs.
One of those people again. Mm-hmm.
What are you not allergic to? Let's start there. No, I'm kidding. Mm-hmm. And so they had to give her up. And so they gave her to Dan was like, I'll foster her. I think Dan originally was going to keep her. But at the same time, he was just kind of like, either I'm going to keep her, see how she works out. I might just end up giving her away. I just happened to be over at his house one day. I was like, oh, my God, where'd you get that dog? Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, you can have her if you want, as long as you take care of her. Because the month before, I had a turtle. Did I tell you the turtle story? That
I love turtles, by the way.
Aquatic turtle. And
I love turtles.
You know anything about aquatic turtles? Never buy a fucking aquatic turtle in your motherfucking life. I'm telling you right now.
Really? So you're going to talk bad about turtle? I love turtles.
Aquatic? No, the aquatic ones. The ones that like you keep in water?
Yeah.
Don't. A tortoise is different. I'm assuming they're more free roaming. They don't.
Yeah, they're more free.
The thing about the aquatic turtles is they poop and pee a lot. Yeah, they stink up wherever they're at. And if you don't maintain it like on the daily, and not only that, they're antisocial as fuck. They don't want you to touch them at all. Naturally, that's just their instinct. It was honestly, an aquatic turtle is the worst pet I have ever owned. I literally,
all the nerds I date.
I'll put it to you this way: I offered that up with everything I bought for it for free. I asked every single goddamn person in the bar, every regular I can think of. I harassed a lot of bartenders that have kids and this and that. Nobody wanted the fucking turtle. Finally, allegedly, I may or may have not gone to the local park that had a local pond and said Free Willy.
There's nothing wrong with that.
But she was a native species, so it wasn't like I was introducing like this random wild.
There's nothing wrong with that, by the way. If it's a native species and you just...
Bitch, when I tell you, I went to the shallowest part because she was still a baby. So I went to the shallowest part of the pond. There was that... I won't even say where it was, just so I don't incriminate myself. If allegedly I had done that. So I went to the shallowest part, allegedly, and I pretty much put it right next to the shoreline and was like, Free Willy, girl. And bitch, she ran. Didn't even look back, didn't say bye. She didn't say thank you for the 1 week I spent with you. Bitch fucking jetted into the water, and I said bye, and we both said bye, and then just walked away.
She was a queen through and through. She's like, I'm out of here, bitch.
Period. Hella skirted. Left a claw mark in the sand, like, I'm out.
She found her environment. She saw some other turtles.
I was so happy for her, too. I was like, Free Willy, girl, I hope you find...
I'm out.
And because she was so little, I left her in the shallow, because if big bats see her, they can eat her. So I left in the shallowest part. Bitch, she thrived. At this point, I'm assuming she's still alive. And then I threw everything else away. I wanted nothing to do with the turtle equipment ever in my fucking life. So if you're out there and you're listening, don't buy a fucking aquatic turtle unless you're ready to deal with that.
Now, a tortoise...
That's different.
That's different.
They can be outside. They can even be indoor. And if you keep them in a specific area.
By the way, those are fast-moving motherfuckers. I did not think that they move that fast. They move that fast.
They do.
I lost one night. Because my friend said, we're going to go to the grocery store. We're going to leave the door open so the air can come in because it was a cool night.
Go ahead.
And I was playing video games, and I saw it was Ted. His name was Ted. I love Ted.
Like a number?
No, Ted.
Ted. Oh, I heard 10. I was like, that's a cute name. That's unique.
No, Ted was the shit. Ted was easy to pick up.
He was the homie.
He was a homie. Ted, I could pick up Ted. It was my first time around reptiles, by the way. It was the first time. You know, I handled a snake for the first time. That's
another thing. I've learned I love reptiles, but I don't like them as pets. I've had a snake before. And it was with me for like 3 years. Finally, I sold it to my local pet store where I always buy the little mice from. And I was like, hey, you guys want to buy what type of... It was a python. It was it was like an invasive species in Florida.
You can't have... It was... This is why I don't like people when they buy those kind of things. But go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to...
Wait, I think it was given to me or sold to me for real cheap. I can't remember how I acquired that snake. Anyways, I had that snake. It was a species that like I wasn't supposed to have, but once I had it, they let me have it. And then I sold it to the pet store. They bought it, and did whatever the fuck they wanted with it, because they're cold animals. Reptiles typically are cold. They don't want to be touched. They don't want to be messed with. They want to be left alone. And then if you're expecting love, and I'm gonna play with this. The snake bit me one time, but not hard. It almost bit me. If I didn't pull my hand in time, I would have had a big old mark on my. And that's because I kind of spooked her. Like I was gonna pick her up, and she didn't realize she was like distracted or asleep. And so when I touched her, her first instinct was to attack. So she was still a little thing. She wasn't a big snake. She was still a little thing. So she turned around, and I saw the whole body movement. Because one thing about owning these animals is you learn their body movements. And when I saw that head turn like this, and it was like this. She turned the head, I pulled back, and she lunged. Had I not moved my hand in time, it would have been a different story today. Bitch, I pulled back and was like, ah! And then I kind of like, I had to like just touch her a few more times, kind of like, hey, it's me, I'm here. She chilled out for a second. I slowly picked her up and put her in her cage. I was like, okay, girl. That was it. No more snakes for me, but no reptiles. So after the turtle is when I got Jenny, like a month later. And my friend's like, you sure you're going to keep this dog? You're not going to keep this dog? I was like, no, I'm keeping Jenny. So 3 years later, here we are. Jenny's a complete sweetheart, man. Like, complete sweetheart.
She's a complete sweetheart.
Well-rounded animal. I've never had it, and because every time we've owned a dog at the house, it had some kind of either a behavioral issue, a health issue, some kind of don't touch it when it's eating. When I tell you she's like the most well-rounded dog I've ever owned my entire, and super intelligent, super intelligent. And I try to explain this to people, but it never works when I explain it. I don't like touching people's pets or children because I understand how people can be a little sensitive
sensitive. I'm not going to say weird. I'm just going to say sensitive. And I understand it because, especially when it's pets or children, because they have the same feelings of, I don't know you. I mean, I know you, but now you're around something that I love, and this is where I need to figure out who you are at that moment as a person. So when I'm looking at a person's child or animal that they really, really love, and I'm like, oh, okay, I don't know how to respond around this because that belongs to someone. And I say that, and I don't mean that when it comes to kids, but I do mean that when it comes to toddlers, especially. That belongs to someone, and I don't want to
offend or do something wrong.
I don't want to say anything, and I don't want to.
And we forget because as adults that don't have children, especially gay men, we're more liberal in what we say, how we do, and so sometimes we say the wrong thing around kids, and parents are like, can you not say that, motherfucker? You not talking about sucking dick in front of my kid? And it's like, what? But they're 5. Fuck, I forgot. My bad.
But as someone who's also like Generation X, we have dealt with the trauma of being children of parents who were horrible.
That's true.
And when we look at little children now, we try to think, I don't want to do anything that will like upset the parents.
True.
And I don't want to touch this child unless this child wants to be touched.
Whoa.
And I don't want to do when I say touch,
conversation feels
no. Weird. When I say touch, you know what I mean. I mean like a hug or a handshake or any of that stuff, because I know that parents.
Joel's opinions on this subject are his own. Do not reflect mine. Just don't.
Please don't do that, girl. No.
So this has been a good show. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. But
the fact of the matter, I realize that people are protective of
things that they love, things that they love,
and that
things that they love, and that includes people, animals, children.
Exactly. So I don't want
plants.
to do anything unless I know that the parent is okay with that.
Yeah.
I don't just reach down and grab a pet or a child without the permission of the person.
I get it.
Yes, because
I get it, but I feel like the more you explain it, the more you're like over-explaining it. Does that make sense? So it's like
I'm not trying to over-explain it, but I'm just trying to
let this one die out. We get what you're saying.
Yeah,
we get it.
Are we?
Yeah.
Because in the comment section, I'm worried that people are going to be like, "I don't get what you were saying."
You're going to get roasted regardless.
It's the internet.
It's the internet.
And if I've learned anything from TikTok,
don't buy a turtle.
Don't buy a turtle, and I'm going to get roasted.
And don't have children. I'm kidding about that.
I'm going to get roasted. You know, the most beautiful thing he said to me, and this is when we started doing YouTube.
Who, me?
And yes, you.
I said something nice to you?
Yes, you did.
Bitch, I'm enlightened. Tell me this story.
I know.
Where was I?
I know. You were here in the room.
What was
you
I
looked
wearing
me
that
dead
day?
in the eye.
And what'd I say?
And you said, Joel, we're going to start being a bit more on social media. So I'm going to need you to develop a thicker skin because people are going to say things that you're not going to like.
Oh, that's true. That's been true.
And I said,
I learned that from bartending in the community.
If I can handle that, and you said, yes, you can, because you've already been doing the show for quite some time. You've already heard all the negative stuff that you could possibly.
And you recently had a conversation with Wendy Taylor, and she told you the same thing. She's like, yeah, people will say the dumbest shit sometimes, and you have to have a tough skin for it.
And expanding the show outside of the podcast to finally see myself. And by the way, every time I watch all our videos. I really do.
Why would you do that? No, I'm kidding. I do that too.
I know. I watch all our videos.
I do because I'm a perfectionist at heart, so I'll watch it, see what I missed.
But I'm like, I don't feel like Julio looks fantastic, and I look terrible.
We know.
I just look so terrible.
And that's what makes the dream team.
Because you get to look
You have a good cop, bad cop, unfashionable, fashionable. Thrift stores,
right
Galleria. I get it. We're two different people.
Now. I know.
We have two different taste levels.
Yes, we do.
We don't eat at the same restaurants.
And you told me that.
We don't even sit at the same table.
And by the way,
I'm there to eat and you're there to work. No kidding.
And by the way, thanks to you, I've learned to embrace that.
As you should.
And have a good time with it.
Period.
So when I walk into a room, y'all have to. I really, really want more footage of the before of when we sit down before to do the show, because if I walk into a room and he's like, "So that's what you're gonna wear? Is that what you're gonna wear?"
Every time.
Okay.
I've learned to give up on that.
I
didn't say anything today. I was just looked at it like, okay, and this is what we're going with. Looks good. I like it.
I'm wearing a baseball cap.
Looks good. I love it.
My red T-shirt with neon lights. By the way,
I support
the
it.
episode starts on December 1st. By the way, it does start on December 1st.
I don't know what that is, but
it's yes. I will send you to the.
Yes, you will.
Yes.
What do you think, Jewel? I think I've said what I wanted to say.
I think I've said what I wanted to say. I think this has been a great episode.
It was. It has been a great conversation, catching up on a few things, roasting each other.
You did not.
Mainly me roasting you, but that's not the point. The point is, it's a good episode.
And by the way, you only looked at the phone once or twice.
Because normally we both, mainly I, will find topics to discuss, things that pop culture stuff, shit that creates conversation. I just forgot or got caught up in my busy life. I had a busy week. I've had a busy week.
So
I'm delayed on our project. We have a video intro that we're working on. Now working on a new video project for the Montrose Angels.
Yes.
Being in a creative space, doing the podcast, and then now I have to edit the video for the podcast. So I have a few things on my plate.
I've got a lot of stuff too. I'm trying to find a new job, and I'm trying to do certain things, and I'm trying to keep everything in perspective. I don't miss a show.
Yeah.
And today, when I had to do a couple of things,
but
I was like...
That break we had last, because we're doing 3 on, 1 off.
Yeah.
And that actually was nice. We actually took that week, even though we didn't record an episode, we actually took that time to use it towards being creative, towards discussing things about the show.
I still have a lot to learn about.
And I know, and honestly, that felt nice. That was really nice take that break from the show and within the recording part and just discuss the show and throw ideas out there and whatnot.
And I'm gonna throw this out here before we end the show. He came over last week. He was going to teach me about lighting. I got fussy.
An adult temper tantrum.
I got an adult temper tantrum. He said, "You know what? I don't want to do this. If you don't want to do it, I'm going to go home." And I'm like, "You know what? No, because I have to do this no matter what."
Yeah.
And it's all for the advancement of the show. It's all for the advancement of who I am as a person. And it really isn't not even honestly about the show. It's more about me taking the risk and
get it, girl,
handling it. Because when you have somebody, by the way, this is.
Are you going to go one of those spiels that I'm good at something, I'm nice to you, and I'm just great all around? And is this what we're going to do for the next 10 minutes? Because can we skip
No, it's
all
not going
that?
to be 10 minutes. It's going
Can
to be 1 minute.
Can we just skip it and say he's a good guy and then move on? sometimes, believe it or not, from my end, I don't like over compliments. And I know they're nice, and I know they come from a great place. It's just like it makes me feel weird at times when I'm being over complimented, or it feels like I'm being over complimented. And I know you have the best of intentions with it, and thank you for that. And I appreciate that. I'm not like passing you off or blowing you off. It's just like sometimes I feel weird when I get over complimented, because in my mind I do things just to do things. A thank you is enough for me. I'm that kind of person where like, thank you, I appreciate you for what you did, and then I move on.
Okay, we have 1 minute.
But then when this bitch wants to sit here and
we
like
have 1 hour and
go into a damn near Thanksgiving prayer with me before we eat, I just want to thank Julio for doing what he does, for what he did. And then it makes it low key, honestly, in real conversation. I am grateful, but at times it makes me feel weird because I'm in the room, and like this is shit you say when you're like not around. I don't know.
Well, we only have
I guess I feel weird with taking compliments directly, is what I'm trying to say. Or when they're overextended compliments. Like if it's like a thank you for what you did, you're awesome, you're great, and like, okay, thank you. And then when you go into like detail, I'm like, oh, stop. I feel weird. Like, I'm not that girl. I don't want to be that girl.
We only have 1 minute left.
We don't. And so thank you guys for tuning in. That's what we're going to use the minute for. Thank you guys for tuning in. Catch us on social media. Catch us on
that, because
streaming service.
I love the fact that he literally did all the work for me that I did not have to do. And if you understand this as creators, when you have someone like this, yeah, you're good. So he already did the work for me. So I'm not even going to say anything else after that.
Thank you. You're going to start your emotional shit, and we're going to move on.
Oh, no, I'm done.
Cool. Excellent. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Love y'all. Be careful. Be safe. Have a good week. We'll catch you next weekend, I guess. Next Wednesday, if we will.
Next Wednesday, hopefully we'll be talking to Doug Owens, his wife.
Yeah.
They are going on a fabulous cruise.
Oh, that would
with
be nice.
Desi and several other drag queens. They're going to the Bahamas to perform and do some stuff.
That's badass.
So hopefully we'll have her on the show.
And they live out in BFE, so
and they live out in BFE, so we're gonna have a good time.
But fuck Egypt.
We're gonna have a good time with that. So
bye guys, love y'all. See you next week.
This show is sponsored by Tubi's Woodworking. Tubi gives you wood. Also brought to you by Bitch Boy Undies. Get you a pair or else. You can follow the show on most social media at That Lil Gay Talk Show. Check out the website, thatlilgaytalks.com. Music and vocals by Jamie D of Diamond Cut Entertainment.